Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I said that to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
The ongoing trial involving Sean Diddy Combs has taken a dramatic turn as newly revealed court documents and footage suggest he may have played a role in Tupac Shakur's 1996 murder. A tweet making waves online reads, "Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing." One excerpt from the filing claims, former LAPD officer alleges Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge Knight then retaliated by having Biggie dealt with. This shocking statement was revealed for the first time in court during an interrogation of Keefe D.
All four of those occasions are San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
This revelation led many to revisit moments where Diddy was questioned about his possible involvement. One clip that resurfaced shows an awkward Breakfast Club interview where the hosts subtly press him about the Tupac situation.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
The news spread rapidly, dominating headlines across major media outlets. Even rapper 50 Cent reacted, saying, "I never liked Diddy because he had Tupac gone."
When they leave me to talk, listen, I always say the wrong thing. I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? You saw that clip?
Yeah!
I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist to try to help me with what I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
In court, physical evidence presented left the courtroom in chills. Keefe D detailed how Diddy allegedly ordered the hit on Tupac on September 7th, 1996. That night, Tupac was in Las Vegas with Death Row Records boss Suge Knight. They had attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand where they ran into a known rival in the hotel lobby.
Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
After the confrontation, security intervened, and Tupac and Suge returned to their hotel before heading to Club 662 around 11 p.m. On their way there, events took a deadly turn as described by Keefe D.
About Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
Although the case had remained unsolved for decades, a new investigation was sparked by Keefe D's appearance on DJ Vlad. In the interview, he broke down how they located Tupac that night and detailed how the incident unfolded.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D claimed that Tupac was targeted because he reached for a firearm at a red light when their car pulled up beside his.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out.
It looked like he was reaching. Yeah, yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what I
started at Tupac and Suge.
Tupac, allegedly sensing something was about to go down, began preparing himself, but was ultimately not fast enough. More disturbing, unseen footage from Keefe D's police interrogation was shared in court for the first time.
You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
Investigators also examined Keefe D's emotional response to Tupac's death, captured in unreleased footage, revealing more than he may have intended.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel they should, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. It never happened, dude.
But it didn't stop there. The case spiraled further as conspiracy theories gained traction. One major headline read, "New developments in Tupac Shakur's murder case. Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy under investigation." Fans began pointing fingers at Snoop Dogg, suspecting his possible involvement due to new evidence and interviews.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car.
In one resurfaced interview, Snoop admitted he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac that night, but backed out at the last minute. Reports suggest that Tupac, Snoop, and Suge had a falling out days before the shooting.
Last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that. Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
Police grew increasingly suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop was deeply connected to the streets. Some speculate that he may have received a tip-off and intentionally stayed behind, avoiding the fatal ride.
Say a week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked him. music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
Another interview reveals that Snoop believed Tupac hated him just days before the murder. This added fuel to a viral thread claiming Snoop may have known Tupac was a federal informant. A former officer claimed Tupac was planted in the industry to stop gang-related violence.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Tupac Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
When that mission failed, Tupac's death followed, conveniently or deliberately, depending on who you believe. This would explain why Snoop kept his distance from Tupac in Las Vegas. The same viral thread even reignited the "Tupac is alive" theory with a resurfaced 2010 interview from rapper Trey. Trey, a close friend of Tupac, was caught on a hot mic saying, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
Well, if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
Earl. One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Just 3 weeks later, a video emerged online that allegedly showed Tupac alive in a Cuban parking lot, reigniting speculation across the internet.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
Since then, the Tupac is alive theory has grown, and in 2025, it no longer feels like just a theory. Suge Knight himself has supported this claim for years. In multiple interviews, Suge insisted Tupac was recovering well in the hospital, even laughing and joking with him. He questioned how someone doing well could suddenly pass away overnight.
When I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody could turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm going to tell you this, Pac, you never...
This statement puzzled many, especially given reports that Tupac was in a coma. If he was unconscious, how could he have been laughing with Suge? In a 2008 interview, Suge once again claimed Tupac was alive.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
Just 2 weeks after making that statement, Suge Knight was nearly killed in a nightclub shooting. He refused to cooperate with police, believing the attack was linked to his public remarks about Tupac. His son, Suge Knight Jr., repeated the mistake in 2018. On Instagram, he declared Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. He followed up with a cryptic text exchange where someone warned him, "You said too much. Time for you to go."